Federer, huh? What can be said about this guy which hasn't been said? One of the most famous athletes of all time, obviously. I got interested in tennis when I saw him playing, and this is like 12 years back. And I mean, it's so strange, how these words form opinions. So obviously, when I saw him first, I like the style of play a lot, and obviously the fact that he was winning so much and dominating so much. But the commentators, I remember, always used to say that I cannot believe that Federer is so good, he's unbeatable and all of that. And then you hear that and you try and associate yourself somehow, and then you have that emotional bond that every time he loses you're like, oh my god, how can he lose? Is it really true? And then Nadal came in and you beat him in French Open, obviously, then in Wimbledon, then in Australian Open, and then obviously Djokovic came in and he started winning a lot. So initially, obviously, it was very, very difficult uh, to understand why Federer was losing. And then I also play a lot of sports, so there's nothing else you can do, right? You have to take that, you have to swallow that hard pill and just move on and play the next game. So that kept on happening, and then I stopped watching tennis for a long time. And then I remember I was playing table tennis a lot at that time, and then 2017 came, and one of my friends came in and said, do you know Federer won the Australian Open? And I was like, what? And then a few months passed, somebody said he won another tournament, I think Indian Wells or Miami. I think he had a double sunshine win, something like that they call it. So he won that, and then he won Wimbledon also in 2017. Then obviously I went on YouTube and saw his matches. He Australian Open, especially, that coat, that dress, and his backhand, the neo backhand. So he was playing so well, and he had, I remember, 5-setter matches, I think, against Nishikori and then Wawrinka, and then obviously finals against Nadal. And that's why, I mean, I have that emotional thing also because he's my favorite player, but that's why I think his comeback was so good, or he is one of the greatest. That against Nadal he was constantly losing, and Nadal's trick was very, very simple, just play to his forehand and then start looping the ball to his backhand, and then Federer would take one shot, two shots, and then the third shot would be loose, or he would just get around that backhand and try to hit it. And then obviously Nadal had that open court and he would have a winner. So it was so easy, and then in that just came up on the top of the ball and just hit through the line. Incredible how he played. And I heard somewhere that it was a very small or a minor adjustment that he made. He just I think increased the racket head and in the size of the racket head. I think that's what he did, if I'm not wrong, and that was it. And then obviously 2019, I thought he was playing well, and then in Wimbledon it was just insane. I mean, those matches, the semi-finals with Nadal, and then even Djokovic, like he came so close to winning Wimbledon. It's just incredible. Like he was 37 or something, and he was playing better than Djokovic. But obviously, hats off to Djokovic. He is just a mental giant. Like incredible how good Djokovic is in those situations. And you should actually hear Djokovic's, I think he has an interview with Graham Bessinger or something like that, that guy who interviews a lot of celebrities. Djokovic talks about his mind component, like how he works through his, mental preparation and what he does. And amazing, actually. He talks about how these mental traumas come up at very difficult times, and he has support of life coaches, and he studies a lot and talks to a lot of people and tries to heal them, and tries to understand what the trigger is and resolve those. So really, really amazing. Not a Djokovic video. I'm not even a very big fan of Djokovic. Obviously, few things like his return, amazing, on Nadal's running forehand, or the way he just grinds, like every point is just grinding. But obviously favorite is Federer because of the elegance of the shot and that one-handed backhand, and even the forehand, like it's so smooth, like the hand actually comes here and the forehand moves past it. It's beautiful. The technique of it is amazing. Like the whole the present, or the game, the look of his game is just superb. I love that. So what do I say about him? And I remember there was a 72 questions with Vogue or something like that. There's that series, right? And he's working on that Wimbledon court, center court, I think. And you know how those 72 questions, I think it's 72 questions, where the guy is just behind the camera and just talking or speaking or just asking questions directly. And he says, who's your toughest opponent? And he says, Rafa Nadal. And then he says, whom do you enjoy playing the most against? And he says, Rafa Nadal. So yeah, um, I love his game. I love Federer's game. I hope he makes a comeback. I think he has had double knee surgeries, and he has just released a video where he's just practicing and hitting some shots. Uh, I he was never a muscular guy. Obviously, he was never a muscular guy, but he was okay. But in the recent years, like 2017, 2018, when I watch, he's like so thin. I don't know how he has the movements, and especially when you watch 2019 Wimbledon, he was moving so well. Like he was here, he was there, and his shots were just amazing. Those angles, and then he was slicing, chopping, amazing the way he plays. um, I hope there are more players like him. And so okay, so that's all just the playing part of it, and then comes the media part of it also. So his growth, the earlier years where he was I think he won junior Wimbledon, and then he became a pro. And I remember I used to be very fascinated with this documentary, which used to show that how he was a very angry and angry player initially, and he used to break a lot of rackets. And then he had a very influential coach in his life, uh, who changed a lot of things for him. And I think accidentally his coach died, or something happened, something tragic happened, and then he vowed that I will not get angry and all of. So that whole story, it sounds very mythical, that somebody was there and he changed, and so it sounds very mythical. And I was always fascinated with it. Actually, an amazing story. If you get to see that documentary, you should. And then so yeah, so he was losing constantly to Rafa Nadal. And I thought that okay, there would be some sort of bitterness or something, but they were always so easygoing with each other, so talkative. And I'm sure, I mean, when Federer used to lose, it would be like a big ego hit, like how can I lose to this one player always? And obviously he didn't know that Rafa, Nadal, or Djokovic, they were future goats. And obviously, the older guy is always, the older goat is always going to lose to the younger goats, always, because the younger goats have physically, they are slightly better. The game has slightly evolved, become more, become faster. The courts have slightly changed with the way you came up. So all those things, I think the older goats will always lose to the younger goats. There is no denying that fact. But the way he took it in stride, and spoke always very, very positively, spoke very, very nicely. Notifications. So yeah, he spoke so well about all of them, actually, so nicely. It was just incredible how nice and easygoing he is. And even in the interviews, he's just joking, palling around. And now he has that great business acumen also. And Lever Cup, I thought that it was just one-off thing. They were just doing it as a show, but they have mounted it as a full-blown tournament, and lot of money is involved, I think. And Federer is one of the organizers or sponsors or something like that. Like he has money invested in it, and it's doing wonders. Everybody is literally waiting for Lever Cup. And even now, I think he has said that he would be available for Lever Cup. Like right now, he's saying that Lever Cup, I think, happens in September. So he's talking about Lever Cup now. It will be fun to see him. There's so many classic matches. There's so many classic matches. Even with Rafa and Djokovic, obviously there are so many classic matches. But even with other players, um, Wawrinka, I remember 2017 Australian Open, amazing. That backhand, like Wawrinka is hitting to his backhand, and he just keeps on chopping. and then Wawrinka comes ahead and then he hits a passing shot. So Wawrinka 2017 Australian Open, uh, Marin Cilic, I think this one. Wait, Marin Cilic in this one, Wimbledon 2016 was it, or 2015, sometime there. So that match I think was amazing again. Who else? Who else? Who else? I think I'm good. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think I'm getting a call constantly, so let me pick this up. But I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.